Right. All right. We should be live now. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see if yep, we are it looks like we are officially live now. Cool, cool,
We
cool,
are
cool.
live.
Yeah, we are live, brother. It's been a little minute since we have connected on here. So yeah, it's nice to be doing this right now.
Yes, definitely. For sure. I've been very excited to read the law one with you.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love your background there for sure. That's nice. I mean your video feed
You
here.
know, yes. Ra. As an humble messenger of the law of one, you do the
Yeah,
Ra,
definitely,
and I'm the
definitely,
question.
man. This is all a very very positive connection right here. This is all, you know what I'm saying. I've personally, talked to some people who get like weirded out and stuff about um the law of one or and really I don't even think they know anything about it really, so it's just it's nothing bad, like it's a very positive, like how can I greet you in the love and light of the infinite creator. How can that be bad, you know what I mean? So anyways, just to get things started, you know what I mean? To just put out there that this is a nice positive connection. That's why we got the law of one connection with the sun symbol, and that's our title. Because ancient like ancient Egypt civilizations and stuff that also had contact with Ra. Um, their understanding, their level of understanding, back then was that Ra is a sun god. So, anyways, yeah, I just wanted to put the sun on there at the end, just to
Oh yeah, something truly marvelous is gonna occur with our star at the end of this era or eon. We are looking forward for it, and the whole
yeah,
solar system and everything is under lockdown right now for this pulse or outpouring to take place.
yes, from our sun.
Yeah, and all from the
Uh,
more of the galactic center of the cosmos. Then every few thousand years, a rhythm or electromagnetic feedback pulses out through the space and time, and it happens everywhere, constantly, maybe every second of the infinite creator's eye. But for humanity, this density, this is the first time. We
yeah,
forgot all about it, but now it's time to remember.
yeah. It's been, it definitely, a war over this going on. So to not let it just be some smooth thing that we experience, remembering about this event. But it is absolutely a life changing memory for me.
All right, let's begin session 14.
Yeah. Session 14. This is good.
Yes.
For sure. And yeah, I'm here at the ocean. I got the water right in front of me. Trees around and everything. So yeah, I'm in a very peaceful place for this reading
Awesome.
of the Law of One, session 14. Let's just kind of get ready here. January 29th, 1981. I am Ra. I greet you in the love and the light of the infinite creator. We communicate now.
A question. Going back over this morning's work, you said the second density strives towards the third density, which is the density of self consciousness or self awareness. The striving takes place through the higher second density forms invested by third density beings. Could you explain what you mean by this?
I am Ra. Much as you would put on a vestment, so do your third density beings invest or clothe some second density beings with self awareness. This is often done through the opportunity of what you call pets. It has also been done by various other means of investiture. These include many so called religious practice complexes, which personify and send love to various natural second density beings in their group form.
Hmm. Question. When this earth was second density, how did the second density beings on this earth become so invested?
There was not this type of investment as spoken, but the simple third density investment, which is the line of spiraling light calling distortion upward from density to density. The process takes longer when there is no investment made by incarnate third density beings.
Wow. Question. Yeah. Then, what was the second density form? What did it look like? What that what did it look like that became Earthman in the third density? What did he look like in the second density?
I am Ra. The difference between second and third density bodily forms would in many cases have been more like one to the other. In the case of your planetary sphere, the process was interrupted by those who incarnated here from the planetary sphere you call Mars. They were adjusted by genetic changing, and therefore they was there was some difference which was of a very noticeable variety rather than the gradual raising of the bipedal forms upon your second density level to third density level. This has nothing to do with the so called placement of the soul. This has only to do with the circumstances of the influx of those from that culture.
Mm. Wow. Like, I just see here, I just see all these different, you know, a monkey, a dolphin, an elephant, all these different animals or functions, but beings. But yeah, it's so funny to just look at, just think on that. Even higher
Right?
density beings, but concerning the culture of the density. Question: I understand from previous material that this occurred 75,000 years ago. Then it was our third density process of evolution began. Can you tell me the history, hitting only the points of development, shall I say, that occurred within this 75,000 years, and particular times or points where the attempts were made to increase the development of this third density?
I am Ra. The first attempt to aid your people was at the time 75000, 75,000. This attempt, 75,000 of your years ago, has been previously described by us. The next attempt was approximately 5800, 58,000 of your years ago. Continuing for a long period in your measurement with those of Mu, as you call this race, or mind, body, spirit, social complex. The next attempt was long in the coming and occurred approximately 13,000 of your years ago, when some intelligent information was offered to those of Atlantis. This being of the same type of healing and crystal working of which we have spoken previously. The next attempt was 11,000 of your years ago. These are approximations, as we are not totally able to process your space time continuum measurement system. This was in what you call Egypt, and of this we have also spoken. The same beings came with us returned approximately 3500, 3,500 years later in order to attempt to aid the South American mind, body, spirit social complex once again. However, the pyramids of those so called cities were not to be used in the appropriate fashion. Therefore, this was not pursued further. There was a landing approximately 3,000 of your years ago, also in your South America, as you call it. There were a few attempts to aid your peoples approximately 2,300 years ago. This in the area of Egypt, the remaining part of the cycle. We have never been gone from your fifth dimension and have been working in this last minor cycle to prepare for harvest.
Wow, I just love that we have never been gone from your fifth density, or what's it called, dimension, and have been working in this last minor cycle to prepare for harvest. Wow.
Right?
Question: was the Egyptian visit of 11,000 years ago the only one where you actually walked the earth?
I am Ra. I understand your question distorted in the direction of selves rather than other selves. We of the vibratory sound complex, Ra, have walked among you only at that time.
Question: I understood you say in an earlier session that pyramids were built to ring the earth. How many pyramids were built?
I am Ra. There are 6 balancing pyramids and 52 others built for additional healing and initiatory work among your mind, body, spirit, social complexes.
What is a balanced pyramid?
I am Ra. Imagine, if you will, the many force fields of the earth and their geometrically precise web. Energies stream into the earth planes, as you would call them, from magnetically determined points. Due to growing through form distortions and understanding of the law of one, the planet itself was seen to have the potential for imbalance. The balancing pyramidal structures were charged with crystals which drew the appropriate balance from the energy forces streaming into the various geometrical centers of electromagnetic energy which surround and shape the planetary sphere.
Let me make a synopsis and you'll tell me if I'm correct. All of these visits for the last 75,000 years were the purpose of giving to the people of Earth an understanding of the law of one, and this way allow them to progress upward through the fourth, fifth, sixth densities. This was to be a service to Earth. The pyramids were used also in giving the law of one in their own way. The balancing pyramids. I'm not quite sure of. Am I right so far?
I am Ra. You are correct to the limits of the precision allowed by language.
Question: did the balancing pyramid cause the Earth from changing its axis?
I am Ra. This query is not clear. Please restate.
Does the balancing refer to balancing of individual who is initiated in the pyramid, or does it refer to the physical balancing of Earth on its axis in space?
I am Ra. The balancing pyramidal structures could be and were used for individual initiation. However, the use of these pyramids was also designed for the balancing of the planetary energy web. The other pyramids are not placed properly for earth healing, but for healing of mind body spirit complexes. It came to our attention that your density was distorted towards what is called by our distortion understanding of third density, a premature aging process. We were attempting to aid in giving the mind body spirit complexes their density on your planetary sphere, more of a time space continuum in one incarnation pattern, in order to have a fuller opportunity to learn, teach the laws or ways of the primal distortion of the law of one, which is love. Man,
Question. I'll make this statement. You can tell me if I'm correct. The way I understand it, the balancing pyramids were to do what we call increase the lifespan of entities here so that they would gain more wisdom of the law of one while in the physical at one time. Is this correct?
sorry about that. I had to get some water. I am Rod. This is correct. However, the pyramids, not called by us by the by the vibrational sound complex, balancing pyramids were more numerous and were used exclusively for the above purpose and the teach learning of healers to change and enable these processes.
Question. George Van Tesla built a machine in our western desert called an integration. Will this machine work for that purpose of increasing the lifespan?
I am Ra. The machine is incomplete and will not function for the above mentioned purpose. We're at
Question.
1413.
Thank you. Who gave George the information on how to build it?
I am Ra. There were two contacts which gave the entity with vibratory sound complex, George, this information. One was of the Confederation, the second was of the Orion Group. The Confederation was caused to find the distortion towards non contact due to the alteration of the vibrational mind complex patterns of the one called George. Thus, the Orion Group used this instrument. However, this instrument, though confused, was a mind body spirit complex devoted at the heart to service to others. So, the, shall we say, worst that could be done was to discredit this source.
A question. Would there be any value to the people of this planet now, at this time, to complete this machine?
I am Ra. The harvest is now. There is not at this time any reason to include efforts along these distortions towards longevity, but rather to encourage distortions towards seeking the heart of self. For this, which resides clearly in the violet ray energy field, will determine the harvesting of each mind body spirit complex.
Wow.
All right.
Question.
Take a breath real quick.
Going back to the start of this 75,000 year period, there was the harvesting 25,000 years after the start, which would make it 50,000 years ago, I would assume. Can you tell me how many were harvested from our planet at that time?
I am raw. The harvest was none.
Can you give me 2 seconds and I'll be back here in 1416?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So I'm curious.
All right, I am back.
All right, what's up? What's up?
I just had
Uh,
to blow my nose.
all right. Yeah, I had to get some water there a minute ago. I was like, man, I'm thirsty.
Okay. I just love when I hear the word harvest. I just think on this event where the sun, whether which sun or star you're talking about, but a sun is definitely giving off this harvest upon a, um, in a solar system as a rhythm. That's how it's quite interesting because this is truly the fundamental teachings of nature, how it all works, the cosmos, how it's all stretching and moving over time, and why the Earth is spinning. Like why? Because it all has this rhythm and oneness.
Right? Yeah, for real.
1416, you ready?
Yeah, yeah.
Question: there was no harvest? What about 25,000 years ago? Was there a harvest then?
I am raw. The harvesting began taking place in the later portion as you measure time space of the second cycle, with individuals finding the gateway to intelligent infinity. The harvest of that time, although extremely small, were those entities of extreme distortion towards service to the entities which now were to repeat the major cycle. These entities, therefore, remained in third density, although they could, at any moment present nexus, leave this density through use of intelligent infinity.
Question: then the harvest 25,000 years ago, the entities who could have been harvested to the fourth density remained here in service to this planetary population. Is this correct? Oh, yeah, actually, kind of is.
I am Raha. This is correct. Thus, there was
Yeah.
no harvest, but there were harvestable entities who shall choose the manner of their entrance into fourth dimension.
Question: then for the last 2,300 years, you have been actively working to create a large, as a, you have been actively working to create as large a harvest as possible at the end of the total 75,000 year cycle, can you state with respect to the law of one why you do this, just as a statement of your reasons for this?
I am Ra. I speak for the social memory complex termed Ra. We came among you to aid you. Our efforts and service were perverted. Our desire then is to eliminate as far as possible the distortions caused by those misreading our information and guidance. The general cause of service, such as the Confederation offers, is that of the primal distortion of the law of one, which is service. The one being of the creation is like unto a body, if you will accept this third density analogy. Would we ignore a pain in the leg, a bruise upon the skin, a cut which is festering? No, there is no ignoring a call. We, the entities of sorrow, chose as our service to attempt to heal the sorrow which we are calling analogous to the pains of a physical body complex distortion.
Question. And what density level is Ra?
I am Ra. I am sixth density with a strong seeking towards seventh density.
Wow. All right.
The harvest for us will be in only approximately 2.5 million of your years, and it is our desire to be ready for harvest as it approaches in our space time continuum.
Question. And you ready yourselves for harvest through the best service you can provide. Is this correct?
This is correct. We offer the law of one, the solving of paradoxes, the balancing of love light and the light love.
So, how long is one of your cycles?
I am Ra. One of our cycles computes to 75
Oh,
million.
oh, oh, oh. What
75
the fuck?
million of your
Oh,
years.
they live a long time, huh? I mean, the 75 million
This
of
is
your
correct.
years. Question. 75 million?
This is correct.
In your service in giving the law of one, do you work with any planets other than the Earth at this time, or just Earth?
I am Ra. We work only when with this planetary sphere at this time.
Wow. Yeah, there's also a lot of things to look at,
Right?
especially when we all incarnated here.
Right?
Yeah. I think the whole universe is literally watching humanity right now. The whole,
Yeah.
like every other part of us are watching us
Right?
themselves or their past going through it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I know, isn't it? Wow. I know, isn't that crazy? Like, wow.
Yeah, what a show.
Yeah.
So question, you stated that you were called by 352,000 Earth entities. Does this mean that this number is the number who will understand and accept the law of one? Am I correct?
I am Ra. We cannot estimate the correctness of your statement, for those who call are not in every case able to understand the answer to their calling. Moreover, those who were not calling previously may, with great trauma, discover the answers to the call nearly simultaneously with their late call. There is no time, space, and call. Therefore, we cannot estimate the number of your mind body spirit complexes, which will, in your space time continuum distortion, hear and understand.
I just felt it like
Makes a lot of
when
sense.
they said that, I felt the trauma. Yeah, but the distortion is not even existing. The space and time of your trauma. So interesting question. How do you perform your normal service? How how have you normally given the law of one over the last 2,300 years? How have you normally given this to Earth people? Before you, Ra, he asked, or answer that. I'll just say, if I hopefully he mentioned Jesus Christ or Jesus in it. That's how. But let's see.
Right? I am Ra. We have used channels such as this one, but in most cases, the channels feel inspired by dreams and visions without being aware consciously of our identity or existence. This particular group has been accentuatedly trained to recognize such contact. This makes this group able to be aware of a focal or vibrational source of information.
Question: when you contact the entities in their dreams and otherwise, these entities, I assume, have to be first seeking in the direction of the law one. Is this correct?
I am Ra. This is correct. For example, the entities of the nation of Egypt were in a state of pantheism, as you may call the distortion towards separate worship or of various portions of the Creator. We were able to contact one whose orientation was towards the One.
Question: the trauma, I'll just call it that. I assume this will, as the cycle ends, have some inconvenience. There will be some entities who start seeking or get catalyzed, you might say, into seeking because of the trauma, and will then maybe hear your words through possible telepathy, uh, or how do you pronounce that? Something, or written material such as we will publish as this book.
I am Ra. You are correct, except in understanding that the inconveniences have begun.
Can you tell me who was responsible for transmitting the book Oaishpe?
I am Ra. This was transmitted by one of Confederation Social Memory Complex status, whose idea, as offered to the Council, was to use some of the known physical history of the so called religions or religious distortions of your cycle in order to veil and partially unveil aspects or primal distortions of the law of one. All names can be taken to be created for their vibrational characteristics. The information buried within has to do with a deeper understanding of love and light and the attempts of infinite intelligence through many messengers to teach, learn those entities of your spirit.
Yeah.
Right?
Question: have there been any other books that you can name that are available for this purpose that have been given by the Confederation?
I am Ra. We cannot share this information, for it would distort your discernment patterns in your future. You may ask about a particular volume.
The Urantia book, which I haven't read, who gave that?
I am Ra. This was given by a series of discarnate entities of your own earth planes, the so called inner planes. This material is not passed by the council.
The Edgar Case material, who spoke through Edgar Casey?
Uh, yeah, Edgar Casey, David Wilcock. Hello. What? Okay.
Hello.
Right? I am Raw. No entity spoke through Edgar Casey.
Oh, damn. Question: where did the information come from that Edgar Casey channeled? That's a better question.
I am Raw. We have explained before that the intelligent infinity is brought into intelligent energy from eighth density or the octave. The one vibratory sound complex called Edgar used this gateway to view the present, which is not the continuum you experience, but the potential social memory complex of this planetary sphere. The term your peoples have used for this is the Akashic record or the Hall of Records. This is the last question which you may now ask. Wow.
Question. Yeah, wow. I just thought on Dave Wilcock and Jesus Christ and just the level of incarnation, how the function of incarnate here, and
Bro,
the opportunity for being present in the present given moment we have in this large infinite, octave of consciousness. Christ, he
yeah,
was the highest octave of incarnate. I feel like that. But David came in and I came in and many people, you came in, mainly the whole earth came in. So here
yeah,
we go.
yeah, but
Yeah.
to
Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, because a lot of times, like seventh density is talked about, up to about like seventh density is normally talked about, but to directly relate Edgar Casey, which then turned into David Wilcock, but to talk about his mind, body, spirit, soul complex, like talk about him being directly related to the intelligent infinity is brought into intelligent energy from eighth density or the octave. Like the one vibratory sound complex called Edgar used this gateway. Like, wow. You know what I mean? That's
Yes. So, funny question. Is there anything that we can do to make this or the instrument more comfortable or help during the transmission?
I am raw. We only reiterate the importance of alignment. This instrument is placed point 0.2 degrees away from the direction of the resting place, which is correct. This may be eyed, shall you say, by sight, and the instrument reminded you are being con wait con- conscient. How do you say that?
Consensus.
Consensual.
Con, con,
Is
consensus.
there any brief question we may answer before this question session is closed?
Question. Can you tell me if we are accomplishing our effort reasonably well?
I am wrong. The law is one. There are
Wow.
no mistakes.
Yesterday to the for the one who was is and shall come.
I am
There
wrong.
is no
I
mistake. That's the Bible. Yeah.
right? I leave this instrument and the love and the light of the one infinite creator.
Go for.
Go forth, therefore, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one creator, Adonai.
Adonai. Adonai. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, that
That,
was a
that
very
was beautiful.
powerful session. That's session 14 of Law of One. For
Yes.
anybody,
Should we end this live stream and just call it a day? And I'll just thank, Adonai, God Himself, the wonderful Creator, Jesus Christ, for us to read this. I've been very excited for it, and wow, the God just spoke through it. And I mean, if you want, we could talk private on a call now. Then,
right?
but if you want to, we could also just take one more session and then do it after. How about that? 15.
Right? Or I mean, just do a little reflection on this your session. Just how powerful of connection and uh information.
Yeah,
Like
that's very
this.
private stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But indeed, yes,
but I mean, I'm just saying like that. That material, definitely,
yeah,
definitely. I can feel it coming from the love and the light of our infinite Creator.
amen. Yes, yes, definitely. So let's continue in session 15 in 1 minute or 2 minutes, and I'll just mute and just let's take a break, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
in 1 minute we continue.
Yeah. I think that Daisy, chill out. I think that'll be it for recording that for right now. Because but I'll call you. Yeah, yeah. Let me just call you. Go ahead and end this here. And it's been a great session. But yeah, I just got things I eventually got to take care of here, so I don't want to commit to doing another session right this moment. But yeah, I still got some time, so uh, I'll go ahead and call you. But yeah, sending much love out to all the people. We all come from one creator. It's a
Amen. Thank you, Adonai.
beautiful thing.
Adonai, thank you so much for being here, and God bless you, Dylan. That was marvelous. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you. And yeah, I'm gonna end this and go ahead and call you up.